Earlier this week, I was looking for a playlist of motivating music. Just something to keep me focused as it played in the background. Nothing too energetic, just something casual, you know? I also prefer to have one of those long form videos that's 2 or 3 hours long. See, if I use a playlist or a live stream, those are fine, but I'm not really able to gauge how much time I've spent working on something. It's just something I like to keep track of. And wouldn't you know it, these mixes and compilations have that number right there for me on the timeline. It's perfect. Also, there are less ads for you to deal with if you don't have an ad blocker, though I think most people have those already, unless you're on mobile. So then I see this video right here on my feed. POV, you're speedrunning overdue work. Energy Boost Playlist by user Jerry. It's like a sign from heaven itself. So I clicked on it. The music is charming, it has some pep, but not too much that you can't just put it on in the background. It also has a video game BGM quality to it, which already has the job of keeping you entertained and focused while you game, or just adding to the overall atmosphere or ambiance or tone of what's going on the screen. After listening to this music for a while though, something was off about it, just couldn't quite put my finger on it. I wondered a little bit about the artists and tracks in this mix, so I checked the description. There was a link to a Spotify and Apple Music page, and it seemed to be of just one artist, Narita. Now, this person must be an underground or amateur musician, and there are tons of those in this world, so no problem. But let's glance at the discography, which is every single song this musician or group or whatever has made. And apparently, all of these songs ever that this musician has made as of this recording, they all came out last year. All 14 plus 15 plus 18 plus an extra one there, plus 21 plus 19 plus 21 plus 18 plus 29 plus 20 plus 14 plus 20 more. That is over 200 songs. This person must have crazy productivity skills, and just happens to have the amount of free time and resources to make that much music over such a, relatively speaking, short amount of time. For other people, they need years to come up with that much music. And this person did it over the course of a year. Maybe not even that. Maybe they also make this kind of music for a living and just happen to do commissions for other people and such. But based on their numbers on Spotify, it doesn't seem like they make more than $1 per song, despite having around, 3,500 monthly listeners? Now, there is another possibility here, that this is AI music, and I don't care much for AI music. Actually, consider me a hater. That doesn't see the appeal. And you may be wondering, well, why do you care so much about it? It's just music in the background. Well, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's video, so strap in and let's go! Some of you may know me as a random VTuber that just happens to play retro games, and I know I haven't streamed in a while. I'm sorry about that. Just know that I'm making scripted content now on YouTube, so keep an eye out for more of my videos, and maybe I'll stream sometime later. I don't know. Still working on that. But aside from being a VTuber, I am also well-versed in composing music and such. Maybe you might have seen one or two of my streams where I put together songs and show them off in Fruity Loops. Now, well-versed may not be the best word to use, though. I haven't technically released any music publicly in almost a decade, aside from on my SoundCloud. And I haven't really made any real money off of my work either. But I have been noodling around and using Fruity Loops and other software since, back in high school, back in 2008, 2009. I just realized how old I am. Anyway, I'm also a performing musician. You can see me performing music right now. Here's a video of me in fursuit. Yes, we are all playing music in fursuit and such. That was the gimmick. It was a furry band. And I bring all this up to say, making stuff, practicing it, performing it for an audience, it is absolutely nerve-wracking. Now, it could be because one is a perfectionist, or they have imposter syndrome, or they're just too scared to even start because what if everyone, and I do mean everyone, thinks that you're cringe? It's a lot of pressure to put on someone, and there are people out there that do fold under the pressure. After they do put themselves out there, unfortunately, they simply disappear and forget ever wanting to do self-expression in the first place, or they try to scrub every piece of evidence of that cringe that they can, lest they not be taken seriously anymore, possibly for the rest of their life, actually. Because that's just how society is now. And if you want to be creative in any field, you have to get rid of that fear, because it can make you catatonic if you're not careful. And it's also impossible to completely get rid of that fear entirely. So, what most musicians and other brave souls like me do is just, you just ignore it. You push past it, and you perform anyway. And I know I come off as a little bit negative when I say this. This is actually a bit off script. But music is, it's a labor of love. It's fun to do. Otherwise, why else would we do it? There is so much joy that I have whenever I'm composing music, and I get just the right notes and just the right sequence, and the melodies sound great, and the rhythm is nice and steady, and it works for the piece that I'm working on. Or if I'm performing with a band and we all sort of link together and we're jamming out, and you get that applause from the audience, you feel that achievement. It's just like, wow, people actually care about our efforts. We really did put on a good show. But I also want to say this, artists, musicians, any kind of creative person, we're a little bit selfish. Like, I can go on and keep telling you about my background and connect with you emotionally, all that, but all of that is more so in service of myself rather than for you. Like, why do you care? It's just music. It's just a product that people consume, and they do it every day. I do it too. I do it in the car. I do it at my workstation. I do it while at work, doing monotonous things. And people typically don't care that much about the process of making art, not as much as they care about the product itself, that is. And keep in mind, there are people who spend anywhere for like an hour and a half to years of their life just to make an album of music, maybe even just to make one song. All of that is based on things like practice and study, perfection of the craft, just all these invisible things that go behind what people call talent. And yeah, sometimes your brain is more in tune with composing music or other creative ideas, and it makes the journey a little bit easier. And some people don't have that luxury, and it takes them much longer to do. And yet, I would argue, both of these people are talented. And it's all a journey. And I'm begging everyone watching this, if you are a creative like me, do not rush this journey. Do not try to just push as much out there just because it needs to be made. Spend a little bit more time on that. And, but not too much, because you do eventually need to get it out there. Sometimes you do need to compromise and put something out there that you think absolutely sucks, but not all the time. So don't try and become a superstar right away, but don't end up hiding inside your little cave forever just because you can't get it quite right. You need to find that middle ground right there. But let's remove all of that context, because for some people, they put it on as background noise while they do their dishes or go to sleep. You could also make that argument, if you were selfish enough, that all of that work in the background should be taken more seriously. That's that selfishness kicking in. I could perform a song for someone on the street right now, maybe get a tip or a small applause, but then I will dig my heels into the ground and demand that they accept what I did even harder. Give me more money, give me more applause, give me more respect, do it now! But I guess that'd be a little bit annoying, wouldn't it? See, if you just make AI slap music, then all the pain and fear and anguish and selfishness, all these negative emotions that you feel, it all simply vanishes. You type in a bunch of keywords and it spits out an entire song or album in a fraction of a time. Meanwhile, some loser is still trying to tune their guitar. If it sucks, you simply delete it. If it works, you still feel that achievement. And as a listener, then you don't have to worry about having some sort of emotional attachment to the music, or you don't need to cry about it, how much it connects with you. and brings you closer to the artist behind it. Nah, you just gotta use it and move on to the next one. You consume it like a can of soda or a tube of toothpaste. You don't have any emotional connection to those. What are you, a weirdo? And as a musician, you don't have to worry about your audience not taking you seriously, cause you don't take it seriously. You didn't put any work into it. There is no process when it comes to using AI to generate music for you. It just farts it right out because you simply want it. You don't really care about the music. You get the product, audience gets the product, bang, boom, done. Everyone wins, right? But I think we're missing something here, which is the point of making art in itself, in the first place, Fundamentally, it hasn't always been about profit or consumption for consumption's sake. I know it may seem crazy nowadays, but that's kind of how it was, in the past. When they're teaching art to little kids in school and stuff, when they make them go through band practice and such, they're not doing it because they want these kids to be rich off their butts. That'd be insane if they did. But it is just about doing something fun. And after you have all that fun, once you record what you did and it sounds cool, that's great. That's all you really need. And you can definitely have music like this in the background. But that doesn't also mean your brain isn't perceiving it while you do something else. See, if all you care about when you come to background noise is just that it is background noise in general, why not just have static white noise or racist rants from Uncle Friedenberger? To me, that's not all that pleasant. I don't know about you, because I have something called standards and taste. And believe it or not, so do you. And because people like you and me have standards and taste, you have a choice in what you listen to. Even if you're just consuming it in the background, you want it to be the right aesthetic or vibe, and that's part of what makes music and art in general so great. Every piece, every track, every note, every second, every melody is adding something to your life right there and then. Even if you're unaware of how it was created or why. AI can try to replicate that, but it's never going to be as successful as when a real human being does it, Even if it's just soothing AI piano music or whatever in the background. But you could also have an elaborate, beautiful symphony or concert in the background, a compilation of video game music from your childhood favorites, a playlist of emo classics that you memorized back in high school. And yes, you definitely had a emo phase, or you went through some sort of phase, and there is music that, even if it's a guilty pleasure, you are nostalgic for it. That includes me too. The important part, before I stray too far away, is whatever connection it is that you have with this music, because that's what makes you you. It makes you human. And for musicians, including myself, we kind of have to get rid of this feeling that we're not taken seriously enough. We need to deal with every negative emotion that we go through during this creative process. Because it's not all negative emotions. Again, it is fun. It is awesome. It tickles the brain to be able to make music and art. And I love that tickling. I like it when it tickles very much. Heck, if you're feeling down and out, why not use that as motivation to make more music? Do you know how many musicians make music about making music as a concept? The point of music is to express yourself. And maybe make a little money off of it if you're lucky, but who's counting? And if all you want to do is impress people and feel good about yourself, why would you want to be a musician? If that's all you want, you're either going to get angry, or you're going to cry, or you're going to feel depressed, and you're not going to be able to get out of bed if you let the process of creation affect you that much. But here's the thing, here's the silver lining in that. That means that you care, and that's good that you care. But use that care to motivate yourself and not to belittle others or go on weird tantrums. Use that motivation to actually put some effort and find out what you truly enjoy about music making. So, closing thoughts. Generative AI music means that you don't care. You don't really want to feel, you just want to consume. You don't even want to think. And why would you want to stop thinking? Thinking makes you you. Thinking makes it so that you are a person. So that's kind of why I think you shouldn't waste your time with it, both as a musician or as just a listener. Just go for the real stuff. It's better for you.